This is the MCC Student Athlete Podcast. I am Diego Esquivel, and today we're going to be speaking to MCC men's soccer athlete Cody Helmhout. Cody, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Uh, Before we get started, could you walk me through just how MCC is going outside of sports for you? Is there a certain field you're pursuing and taking classes for this semester?
I'm taking classes for communications. So I have a public speaking class right now. I've already taken like three other communications class in the previous semester. So
That's great, man. It's good to hear. Uh, Going into the aspect of soccer in your life, I always have to start from the beginning. So, what first got you into soccer, and at what age would you say you started playing?
I started playing when I was 3. I don't really remember what really got me into it, but I played a lot of sports when I was younger, and then soccer just stuck with me, and I've been playing it ever since.
Was there a specific team or player that you would say really inspired you growing up?
I like my favorite team right now is Barca, and I've been following them ever since. And a player I would say is Julio, who used to play on Barca, their center back.
And kind of transitioning into MCC, what would you say that kind of recruitment process was like? And why did you choose MCC specifically for your current soccer career?
So my recruitment was the assistant coach Julio. I've known him for 10 plus years now. So it was honestly pretty easy for me to choose MCC because it's a familiar face that I knew. So when he asked me, he's like, "Hey, do you want to come play for us?" And I was like, "Perfect." And then he introduced me to Coach Brian Ronan, and it's been good ever since.
And now playing for MCC, you could say that soccer could be a physically demanding sport. How would you say you keep yourself in top shape, sorry, both mentally and physically throughout the season?
So it's it's a lot of work. I'll tell you that much. It's a lot of work, but we do a lot of work in the spring and in the summer before season with the new weights coach we have, and he does a great job of everything that we do. And he's trying, and we still maintain it too throughout the season as well. So after practices three days a week, we go in there, we get a little lift in, more it's more like explosive workouts than anything, not like anything physically demanding, but just trying to maintain our peak performance and peak fitness.
And would you say kind of keeping in that healthy mindset, how would you say that's kind of influenced playing just not only playing soccer, but in other areas of life, possibly keeping that kind of same sense of discipline, whether it's just in life or whether it's in school? How would you say that's kind of carried, around to those aspects of life?
Well, I mean, soccer has taught me a lot. I mean, through like teamwork, discipline, leadership. I mean, getting to know people. I mean, soccer has unlimited connections, especially for me as well, because I mean, I like to be close with all my coaches, like have a relationship, and that started when I was at Campo Verde with Coach Drew as well. And I've maintained a great relationship with him. He's like a father figure to me, someone who I look up to, and I maintained that relationship with Julio and Brian as well. So it teaches you a lot. I mean, to be honest with you, like my life, it wouldn't be the same without soccer.
And speaking of Campo, I know Coach Drew is also a coach at MCC. So how does it feel to have kind of that culture passed down to now going into college and seeing some familiar faces?
Yeah, it's nice to have him around too because I could just go into his office and just chat it up with him if I have any questions or if I need any guidance while I'm here about like soccer or anything or life. It's a great it's a great person to have around as well.
That's great. And of course, a huge aspect of the sport is, of course, the team. How would you describe just the chemistry on the MCC soccer team, especially building up throughout the season? And what role would you say you play in building that kind of team spirit?
I mean, our chemistry has gotten a lot better since we've all started from our summer practices. We have a lot of new faces. So at first it was a little difficult trying to get everyone on board on what we're trying to do. But I mean, ever since I would say like 5, 6 games ago, we've all been connecting and everything's just been clicking on all cylinders. And I think we're really hitting our stride right now. And there's still a lot more improvement we could do. But I mean, me being our captain and trying to lead us in the direction that Coach Ronan wants us to go. I mean, I think we've been doing a great job of that throughout the past 5, 6 games.
And from what I understand, there's possibly some team building exercises that you guys have done. I think you guys have gone on a hiking trip. Could you walk me through that and how that kind of played a role in you guys kind of getting together? From what I understand, it was a super early morning hike. So could you speak kind of and recollect on what that experience was like?
That hike was really fun. It was physically demanding, but it was a good hike for us. And I mean, it's nice to get the whole team out to something that it's not just show up and play soccer, show up and we have to do this and that. Like it was a fun hike. I mean, I know everyone enjoyed it. And then we went to one of our teammates' house, and his parents cooked us breakfast, and he had a pool and stuff. So I know we all hung out. We all went and hung out there as well. So I think that helped a lot as well. I mean, just us being together outside of soccer instead of it just being, oh, practice, practice, practice.
Oh, for sure. And on this day, I have the opportunity to speak to you on a game day, which is great. But you will be playing against Glendale. And last time you played them was a very close game. But as you said, there's much more of a difference in that team dynamic from that last game with Glendale to now. Is that something that you feel gives you a little more confidence in today's game going in?
Yes, I extremely do. The first game when we played Glendale, to be honest, we weren't really familiar with each other. We didn't know how hard we had to go into tackles and play. So, I mean, it's nice this year we get to play every single team twice. So the teams that you do lose to, you get a second chance at them. And I am so glad we have a second chance at Glendale because I think that's the game that got away from us. I mean, we didn't play the best soccer at all. And then now we're coming in winning, I think, 4 or 5 games in a row. I mean, we're on a hot streak right now, and that's going to continue tonight.
And yeah, speaking of just second chances, I assume every game for you is a big game, but just what are the feelings specifically going into this one after, Glendale knocking MCC off the 10-15, the national rankings being top 20 in the nation at the moment. But does that matchup kind of give you an extra sense of motivation? As you said, now the team dynamic is better. Now you guys will get the second chance. Just what are the feelings going in there, and how motivated are you to just kind of get this win back?
We are extremely motivated because if you were at the game, the first game, there were I'd say, some antics, I guess. Like they started celebrating, dancing in front of our bench, saying, "Oh, you guys are number 14 in the nation. You guys stuck. We beat you." Everything like that. So, and I know every single person on this team remembers that, and we're using that tonight to one, win and get that victory back, and two, knock them out of the top 20 because they're sitting at 20 right now, and three, hopefully this will boost us to jump up into the top 20. If not, set us up into position where at the end of the season we can make a run for a top a ranking spot.
Perfect, man. I can't wait to see it. And just kind of closing out, what would you say are your personal goals for this season? I know you got a big game ahead of you today, but looking long term, if you could do that right now, what are your soccer related goals after your time at MCC as well?
I mean, I don't really like having personal goals. I mean, yes, everyone does have them, but I mean, for me, like all my personal goals are pretty much what the team goals are. Like I want to make it to the playoffs, the postseason, and then I want to win a postseason game, make it to the final, win the final. And once we win the final, we go head to nationals, and then that's where one, a lot of our players can get recruited from nationals, people that are wanting to move on from Mesa, and two, it's another chance for us to win a nationals championship, which has never been done here at Mesa. So those are really like my personal goals are the team goals as well, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cody, that wraps up all the questions I had for you today, man. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Thank you so much for joining the podcast and having a discussion, man. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to see the get back against Glendale later today. So good luck, man.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome. You have a good one, man.
You too. Later.